श्री परमात्मने नमः। ओम प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। आप सभी दिव्यात्मन को नवरात्र की, चैत्र नवरात्र की कोटिशः बधाई। माँ जगदम्बा की अनंत अनुकंपा आप पर बनी रहे, संपूर्ण सृष्टि पर, संपूर्ण मानवता पर। जो जब ओम हरि ओम। तो आइए, आज संपूर्ण विश्व कोरोना महामारी से त्रस्त है। इस विभीषिका के निवारण के लिए माँ जगदम्बा से प्रार्थना करते हैं। विश्व शांति के निमित्त, विश्व कल्याण के निमित्त आज प्रार्थना करते हैं सब मिल करके। ओम सर्वशक्ति महामाया दिव्य ज्ञान स्वरूपिणी ओम नमः चंडिकाय, नमः चंडिकाय, नमः चंडिकाय। ओम जयंती मंगला काली भद्रकाली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवा धात्री स्वाहा स्वधा नमोस्तुते। जयंती मंगला काली भद्रकाली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवा धात्री स्वाहा स्वधा नमोस्तुते। प्रथमं शैलपुत्री च द्वितीयं ब्रह्मचारिणी तृतीयं चन्द्रघण्टेति कुष्माण्डेति चतुर्थकम् पंचमं स्कन्दमादेति अष्टमं कात्यायनीति च सप्तमं कालरात्रीति महागौरीति चाष्टमम् नवमं सिद्धिदात्री च नवदुर्गाः प्रकीर्तिताः उक्तानि तानि नामानि ब्रह्मणैव महात्मने। ओम नमः चंडिकाय, नमः चंडिकाय, नमः चंडिकाय, नमः चंडिकाय। ओम सर्वे नः सुखिनो भवन्तु, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। सभी सुखी हों, सभी स्वस्थ हों, सभी भद्र देखें और भद्र दिखें, ये हमारी कामना है, ये हमारी प्रार्थना है। अभी संपूर्ण विश्व में जो मानवता कोरोना महामारी से ग्रस्त है और विशेष रूप से जो भारतवर्ष है, वहाँ पर 130 करोड़ से ज़्यादा की जो आबादी है, पूरी तरह से संयमित होकर अपने घर में बंद होकर के इस महामारी को परास्त करने के लिए संकल्पबद्ध हैं। उस महायज्ञ को जो इस राष्ट्र ने और संपूर्ण मानवता के कल्याण के निमित्त जो संकल्प लिया है कि इस महामारी को परास्त करना है और आप विश्वास रखें, ये महामारी बिल्कुल परास्त होगी, इस पर हम विजयी होंगे। विशेष रूप से जो दिव्य ऊर्जा है, इस समय नवरात्र भी चल रहा है और भारतवर्ष की यह पुण्य भूमि, यह देव भूमि है, यह दिव्य भूमि है। जो ब्रह्म ऊर्जा है वह उन विनाशकारी शक्तियों का, उन आतदायी शक्तियों का, वास्तव में तो इसका जो केंद्र रहा है और जहाँ से उत्पत्ति हुई है वो दानवीय संस्कार और संस्कृति के प्रतीक लोग हैं। उनके खान पान और गैर जिम्मेदाराना व्यवहार के कारण उन्होंने प्रकृति का दोहन और इस जगत में रहने वाले अन्य प्राणियों का जिस प्रकार से भक्षण, जीवन उनका हरण करते हैं, हिंसा करते हैं, तो प्रकृति ने प्रहार किया है, प्रकोप किया है। परंतु कहीं न कहीं अपरोक्ष रूप से तो संपूर्ण मानवता इसके लिए जिम्मेदार है। जो हमारी विकास की व्यवस्था है, जो हमारा भोगवादी जो संस्कार और संस्कृति में अब हम चल पड़े हैं, तो ये एक प्रकृति की चेतावनी है, ब्रह्मांड का, परमात्मा का। प्रकृति तो उस परमात्मा की ही माया है। तो आइए फिर भी हम प्रार्थना करते हैं और मुझे पूरा विश्वास है बहुत जल्द ही 21 दिन के अंदर ही लगभग रामनवमी आते आते भारत में तो पूरी तरह से इस पर नियंत्रण होने लगेगा और अनुशासन बनाए रखना है और इस अवसर को अपने अंदर उस परमात्मा तत्व जो शाश्वत अनंत सत्य है, जो हमारा परम स्वरूप है, जो शिव है में हमारे अंदर, जो समस्त रोगों से, समस्त व्याधियों से मुक्त है, उस शिवत्व को उपलब्ध होने का, चिंता करने का कोई कारण नहीं है। टीवी पर देख देख करके जो कोरोना महामारी है उससे जो चिंतित हो रहे हैं वो बिल्कुल निराधार है। 100 जो संक्रमित होंगे भी, ध्यान दें, ये वैज्ञानिक तथ्य कह रहा हूं, प्रार्थना का बहुआयामी व्यापक तत्व प्रस्तुत कर रहा हूं। अगर नेटवर्क काम करता है तो 100 अगर संक्रमित होते हैं कोरोना से, तो उसमें ज्यादा से ज्यादा 1-2 के काल कवलित अकाल मृत्यु के को उपलब्ध होने की आशंका है। केवल 1 या 2। और कौन से लोग? वे ऐसे लोग जो 65 वर्ष से ज्यादा उम्र के हैं और साथ ही साथ कोमॉर्बिडिटी उनकी है। कोमॉर्बिडिटी का मतलब जिन्हें कोई जानलेवा बीमारी है, जैसे हाइपरटेंशन, सीवियर डायबिटीज, बाईपास सर्जरी हुआ हो, कैंसर हो, रेनल फेलियर हो, किडनी फेलियर हो, लंग की बहुत बड़ी समस्या हो, लीवर की कोई गंभीर समस्या हो, ऐसे असाध्य रोगों से जो ग्रस्त हों और जिनकी उम्र 65 वर्ष से ज्यादा हो, जो विश्व भर के भी आंकड़े हैं, वो चीन के हो, इटली के हो, अमेरिका के आंकड़े हो, जहां कहीं के भी इसी प्रकार की, इसी श्रेणी में आने वाले लोगों, अगर 1-2 जो 100 संक्रमित होते हैं उनमें से अगर मृत्यु को जो प्राप्त होते हैं वो इसी प्रकार के लोग हैं। और भारतवर्ष तो 65% से ज्यादा, 65% से ज्यादा हमारी आबादी 35 वर्ष से कम की है, युवा आबादी है, जिसकी जो रोग प्रतिरोधक क्षमता है वो इतनी सशक्त है, सुदृढ़ है। हमारा जो खान पान भी है, अधिकांश लोग शाकाहारी हैं, संयमित जीवन जीते हैं। तो इस कारण से हाँ, सावधानी जो बरतनी है वो 1000%। ध्यान दे, 2 शब्द है इस महामारी को परास्त करने के लिए। जो हमारी आध्यात्मिक ऊर्जा है, प्रार्थना है, दिव्य ऊर्जा है, उसके साथ साथ हमारा जो ये वैदिक संस्कृति रहे, वैज्ञानिक दृष्टिकोण रहा है सदा ही, और विज्ञान यह बता रहा है और उसके अनुसार हमें सावधानी 1000% ध्यान दे। सावधानी तो जो सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग, एक दूसरे से अलग रह करके संयमित जीवन, वो 1000% हमें उसका निर्वाह करना है 21 दिनों के लिए। लेकिन भय बिल्कुल नहीं, भय का कोई कारण नहीं है। शारीरिक रूप से भी इस रोग की जो विभीषिका भी है, यह भी 100 में से जो संक्रमित होंगे भी उसमें से कोई एकाध लोग की मृत्यु हो सकती है, वो भी जो जानलेवा बीमारियों से पहले से ही जो ग्रस्त हैं और जिनकी उम्र 65 से ज्यादा है। इसलिए एक तो जो आधुनिक काल में जो वर्ल्ड हेल्थ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन और जो वेस्टर्न एलोपैथिक मेडिसिन का जो साइंस है वो इतना घातक है स्वतः में ही। मैं कुछ आपके समक्ष डाटा प्रस्तुत कर रहा हूं, और ये मेरे डाटा नहीं है, ये वर्ल्ड हेल्थ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के ही डाटा है। विश्व में आज जो 80% से जो ज्यादा बीमारियां हो रही हैं, उनका कारण दूसरा कुछ नहीं, वो औषधि ही है। एलोपैथिक मेडिसिन is responsible for more than 80% of the ailments and diseases infecting and afflicting the mankind. The medicine has itself become the biggest source of disease. That you need to understand. In this country, our system of Ayurveda, naturopathy, and natural living systems and lifestyle and the livelihood systems, everything was woven around, taking into cognizance and with due respect to the 5 elements of the universe: Chiti, Jal, Pavak, Gagan, Samir. The equal respect and reverence to every single element in the cosmos. We have lived for millennium, this Vedic culture, in cooperation with, in coexistence with, in reverence with. Ours is a culture of coexistence, cooperation, respect and reverence. We have never believed on the culture of and principle of conquest of nature, which Judeo-Christian religious practices have very emphatically, the conquest of nature. They declared nature and natural resources as something to be exploited. In China, through national legislation, they declared the animals as natural resource. It was the most demonic, disgusting legislation passed by Chinese government, which has allowed them to exploit every species of the animal kingdom as their food, and they have destroyed it. And the repercussions and the health problems that the entire humanity is suffering is a consequence of that. Therefore, the entire universe, the entire nature, we are the nature, nature is within me. Within me, the water is there, the entire ether is there, the land is there, the air is there, the fire is there. I am the fire, I am the ether, I am the air, I am the water, I am the earth. So how can be I so inimical to myself? Sarvam khal vidam brahma. In India, in Vedic culture, the entire cosmos is a manifestation of the supreme divine Brahman. Therefore, we have remained reverent to every atom of the cosmos. Every speck of the dust is worshipped. Every drop of the water is worshipped here. And therefore, due to the Western influence in last 300-400 years, the crash commercialization, toxic industrialization model of the Western countries that we have imported and they have forced upon us for certain geostrategic reasons and objectives, that has brought this tragedy. It's a time the nature is sending the message of reset. The nature has pressed the reset button. The computer, the global computer, has pressed the reboot button, reset button. You do what you like, or you will be forced to like whatever you do. That is what the nature is doing with us. We are not behaving, the mankind has not behaved responsibly despite the severe climate change, severe depletion and destruction of the biodiversity, natural resources. Water bodies have been despoiled, the rivers, the water bodies, the forests have been denuded. Where are the animals going to survive? the virus, the coronavirus, is just one of them which has the bat or the snake. At the moment, whatever available information with World Health Organization and the medical science is that either it's the virus that came from the bats or the snake which Chinese were eating, and in such a brute manner, indiscriminate manner, all kind of wild animals are butchered at one place, which even medically and scientifically is so hazardous. And now that the virus that used to survive and used to be host of animals has entered into the human beings. It's not a divine disaster. Let me tell you, I am a spiritual person, I am a sannyasi, and some people said that it's a divine curse. I am saying it's not divine curse. It's a man-made disaster. The corona pandemic is a man-made disaster. The collective conscience of the humanity, the irresponsible behavior of the humanity, it was incumbent on the international responsible agencies of the United Nations and the global governance mechanisms to stop China the way it was behaving and the way it is behaving. And not only China, I'm not just going to blame China alone. The Western toxic industrial model, which believes in the supremacy of the mankind over the rest of the nature, in destruction of the nature they celebrate. This has been the most suicidal belief and principle practiced in last 300 to 400 years. And we are a blind follower. The tragedy with India and Indians is now we also have become a blind follower of the Western toxic model of industrialization and crass commercial consumerism. So we are facing the unprecedented calamity, pandemic in the history of and analysis of the human race. This is the downside of the globalization. Even in 1918, when the biggest pandemic occurred, that Spanish flu, it was largely limited to certain countries because the world was not so integrated and globalized. Now the world has become a global village. Now it is, suppose when the planes were not there, there was no way the virus could have traveled from China, or even if some virus originates in US. But today, every day, you are taking breakfast in Rome and then dinner in Washington, next morning in New York, again next day dinner in Beijing or New Delhi or Rome. It's sickening. We have despoiled, we have polluted the air, water, toxic. Now the metropolitan cities in India and most of the metropolitan cities in the world are the air is so toxic and there was no solution. Now the nature has forced the solution. Now you are locked within your doors. You refuse to pause. You refuse to reflect. Your life was around the clock. It's such a disgusting practice that round the clock offices, industrial houses, in the name of maximization of GDP, the construct and concept of GDP is the most toxic economic concept. For the maximization of the formal economy and the formal GDP, you are allowed to destroy your water body, the air, water, ether, everything that is the source substance for the human existence. Therefore, this tragedy is man-made, and the global think tanks and global international institutions have miserably failed in some way. The role and relevance of the WHO, World Health Organization, is under question. It has very serious, the way it is behaving. Yesterday itself, the World Health Organization head was congratulating and praising China. We must condemn it. It's disgusting. The irresponsible behavior of the Chinese regime has brought this tragedy and disaster on the doors of every human being in the world, and you are thanking them. There is a global conspiracy for the enslavement of the vast majority of the human race. You have just become a consumer. The global pharmaceutical companies, in cahoots with the international agencies like WHO and the lobby of the allopathic doctors in all the major countries, and the network of those pharmaceutical companies has, in fact, virtually tried to strangulate the public health systems in the world. They have destroyed, they have discredited the indigenous and natural remedy and treatment practices, remedial practices, in the name of the superiority of the science and scientism. Now, I am celebrating one thing. Let me tell you, even though it may seem and I sound cynical, but we must. I am celebrating the fact that the so-called arrogance of science and conceit of scientism has got a bleeding nose. The science which you have been using to manufacture most deadly weapons to kill the mankind, destroy the livelihoods of the vast majority of the human beings, where are those so-called high-tech technology? Use those supersonic jets to kill the virus, can you? This has shown you your limitations. Rather than spending the money and the resources on better education, better infrastructure, in improving the natural resource base, biodiversity, rejuvenating the water bodies across the globe, you are investing the vast majority of the manpower, technology and resources for unnecessary manufactured war machinery, global war machinery and war mongering every moment. See what has been happening in Syria in the name of terrorism. These are the global vested interests which have entrapped the entire human race in such a fatal game, and we have become the vast majority of ordinary human beings belonging to every time and clime and country and culture and religion are just helpless human beings, helpless and hapless. They can't do that. They are being used as helpless consumers by transnational corporations, and we have to pay the price. It's a time the entire human race rises above these petty considerations which politicians have trapped us in. The organized religious leaders also are responsible in no less a manner. In the name of religion, in the name of nationality, the vast majority of the mankind have become deeply enslaved in the kind of global economic paradigms, international regulatory paradigms of politics, economy, society and science. These are all responsible. The nature has unleashed its fury, its wrath. SHIVA worked for 30 years before he became sannyasi on the issue of environment, food security, poverty, deprivation. And then we used to write articles and do research on the wrath of the nature. This is the most ferocious wrath of the nature. Make no mistake, this is not a virus or something. It is, but you have manufactured it. You have created it. It's a man-made disaster unless and until we sit back and reflect back about our lifestyle. The kind of second-rate human beings the vast majority of the citizenry has been converted into, no role and relevance in shaping and making their destiny, in the role and relevance and policy of the global think tanks. Vast majority of the decisions are taken by tiny number of internationally powerful institutions and the countries, politically powerful countries, taking their narrow interest in mind. They want to dominate the markets of the globe, so they would use brute force at some point of time, and the warmongering, constant warmongering. For whom? For whom? Why don't you? Where is your entire might? Yesterday's meeting of the virtual meeting of the G20 and decision to inject $5 trillion. For whom and for what? Had you injected this $5 trillion in prevention of the warmongering machinery and irresponsible destruction and despoilation of the natural resource base, in taming those countries and those scientific paradigms which celebrate the destruction of the natural resource base and the lifestyle and livelihood systems which were in respect of, in coherence with, aligned to the natural resources, cultural practices, and in the interest of the vast majority of the mankind. We never become. We now have been converted through the prevalent propaganda machinery called televisions and social media also. These are all being used as the propaganda machinery for aggrandizement of the returns, annual returns of the global transnational corporations. Few rich people in the world, the vast majority of the human beings are third-rate citizens, helpless. They have no role other than every 5 years electing their presidents and prime ministers and politicians who have no interest in the broader long-term policies and paradigms which could bring sustainable livelihood, lifestyles and life systems. Immediate gain, self-centeredness, narcissistic. If I could describe in one way, I'm sitting, though I'm praying, every moment I'm praying that everybody, whosoever be, let everybody be healthy, let this pandemic come to an end as soon as possible. Yet I am not oblivious, even though I am a sannyasi. I work for 30 years on this in all these global political and policy paradigms and issues. I am not unaware about these kind of things. Sometimes I feel that I should forget and forsake this occurrence and return back to this fight that has been unleashed by the selfish, narcissistic, global, political and technocratic paradigms which have enchained the vast majority of the people. Now, in a country like India, imagine the kind of suffering the ordinary people and the kind of devastation it is likely to wreak on those people. The already world over, even in US, I was seeing yesterday, it's a 50 or 60-year high joblessness, 48% or 38%, and no less than the governor of New York, the way he was speaking the truth. That for that I'm cognizant of the fact. But the helplessness and helplessness, what happened to your resources? This joblessness, the blank future staring the entire mankind. And poorer countries, developing countries, and a country like India, more than 35 crore people, and vast majority of them, more than 700 to 800 million people live almost on the, I used to work on deprivation and poverty for 30 years, live a hand-to-mouth existence. Now already there was a serious problem of joblessness. What is going to happen? There will be, of course there is going to be global recession, much more devastating than what in the 1930s US recession. Because today it's a totally different world, different economic paradigms, different interdependence. Anything, a small incident happens in one part of the world, impacts everybody else in the rest of the world. Therefore, we could have afforded to be irresponsible 100 years ago, and it might have been the consequences of the disasters would have been not as vast and widespread. But today, a single mistake committed by a single person, and you know the story how it originated in Wuhan, a young person who was infected with that virus, now has become so. Protection of the nature, the global welfare is not a concern of the international think tanks only and international regulatory paradigms only. It's everybody's business. It's your business, it's my business. You can't forsake your responsibility by just saying that I have elected my politicians and the rulers in 5 years, we are a democracy. No, every decision that is being taken globally, in fact, effectively, the entire global economy is in the hands of few transnational corporations for the vested interests of theirs. They manipulate the science, they manipulate the medical science, they manipulate the climate change science, they manipulate every data, statistics. I used to write for 30 years on climate change, global warming, large number of articles, national, international papers, and the lobby which has a vested interest led by US, and still the US government hasn't signed that climate change. Can you believe they have destroyed the natural resource base of the world, the Mother Earth, and now the responsibility for cleaning the earth belongs to the poorest people. They have enjoyed the goodies, they have become the rich, they are living prosperous life, their per capita income. Compare the per capita income of the so-called developed countries and developing countries and poor countries. It's a time you must express anger, disciplined anger, but anger not just in psychological terms. Deeper questions must be asked, ought to be asked. Are we herds, human beings, herds of the sheep or goats or cow or cattle, that the global decision makers and the institutions like WHO, United Nations, Security Council, what the hell is Security Council meant for in the post-war period? It was set up after 1945. What is the relevance and role of the UN Security Council if the vast majority of the economic global resources are still being diverted towards containing war and manufacturing the warfare machinery? Most sophisticated, the one countries in the developed country, France is competing with US, US competing with the rest of the EU, most deadliest of the weapons. How are we going to fight? If mankind and the welfare of the mankind, the health of the mankind, the well-being of the mankind was your concern, was at the heart of yours, then you must have taken due cognizance to preserve the necessary natural resource base, the Mother Earth, the water bodies, the air, the water. But you are not. You will keep giving some statements, you will keep giving some palliatives, and continue to exploit the nature and engage and indulge in most disgusting, demeaning food practices, livelihood styles, which are so inimical to the long-term interest of the mankind. Now the long term has come back to haunt you. I remind you, I dare predict this. Corona is not, I'm addressing the global community at this moment. Every sister and brother of mine sitting anywhere in the world, cutting across time, climate, nature, nationality, race. No, we are all one. I see in all of you the Atman, the divine force, and in that capacity I am addressing. Let's think together and accept the challenge. It's a time to reset the wrong economic social, political practices we have unleashed in last 50, 60, 70 years in the post-war era, which has brought the entire humanity on the brink of collapse, and this corona is not going to be the last one. Now, this kind of unseen and immediate and sudden threats are going to keep emerging, not only in terms of viruses only. The ecological disaster we have unleashed, it's all related. The animal kingdom, the plant life, the biodiversity, and for millennia, every single species in the plant kingdom and the animal kingdom had its role in containing. It took so much time to realize. Now in India, you have created tiger reserves, forests, these things, but still you realize that once the tigers are gone, the wildlife is gone, the forest is gone, what are you going to breathe? You declared that it was unnecessary resource. Let us convert it to GDP. It's the high time. I am not speaking out of air. I worked on these issues and international and national events I used to organize, and I had challenged at that point of time, in the presence of the large number of ambassadors and international policy makers in Delhi, I was to do that the GDP concept and construct is a vast and most deadly weapon to enslave the economic, social, irresponsibly exploitative behavior of the mankind. In the name of GDP, in the name of development, in the name of growth, economic growth, you are being destroyed. Your health has been irreparably damaged. The health of the Mother Earth has been irreparably damaged. The health of the oceans have been irreparably damaged. The health of the sky has been irreparably damaged. So, is the health of the human beings going to remain intact? Impossible. You are killing others and others are going to worship you. Those who have nourishing you, the Mother Earth, the plant life, every species in the plant kingdom, every species in the animal kingdom, in some or the other way, has its role. It was protecting you, it was nourishing you, still it is doing it, but you took it for granted. You decided to pursue an economic model which is exclusively meant for you, so narcissistic, so self-centered. And who was benefited? Tiny number of transnational corporations based in US and other European countries, and now some of in China and this country also. Therefore, it's the clarion call. If you are a conscious human being, if you want to play the role of a conscious citizenry, all of us are global citizens. Let us cut across our narrow barriers of religion, organized religion, race and nationality. The entire human race has been challenged, and not the politicians, the prime ministers and the presidents and the heads of the various UN agencies. You and me, it's a time we reclaim our fate, fortune and future from the hands of these so-called decision makers, global and national. Each one of us has a onerous task, a great responsibility to begin to think about the kind of cultural paradigm in terms of economic systems, consumerist paradigm that has been pushed, and what future your children do have on this toxic planet. The water has got depleted. Every other month you are getting the information that in this country, in this town, it will be running out of water. I stayed for 2 months in New Delhi during December and January, literally gasping for breath. The air pollution was 50% of time. Every moment I used to see the air pollution level. You are not prepared to listen to. Similarly, the case. we are killing the forests. So we have contaminated air, water, biodiversity, every surrounding, and more importantly, the psyche. A polluted, contaminated psyche which believes in indivisible, alienated, atomized destiny of each one of us. That is the most disgusting practice which has brought the humanity to the brink. We don't have individual destiny. We win together, we will fall together. That is going to be so true about the humanity. We must come together. We must dissolve the artificial boundaries which politicians have the vested interest in erecting, the boundaries of organized religion, the boundaries of nationalities, the boundaries of races. Because I am Advaita Vedanti, I am a Paramahansa Sannyasi. I am saying so because I am feeling my presence in each one of you, within myself. If you are crying, if you are panicked due to the pandemic, I myself feel the pain and the pinch. Though deep within I feel that it's a dream, this another thing, but on a practical level, I feel the pinch of the mother who doesn't know where to get the milk for my child who is hungry because the husband has become jobless. And in a country like India, more than 50-60% of the population has hand-to-mouth existence. And so is the case in the rest of the world also. Even in the most powerful nations and in terms of GDP, the richest country, US. Now, though I was feeling very bad the way the people were suffering even in New York and Washington, but what struck me that now they should realize the limitations of their arrogance. Where are your resources? New York ran short of the ventilators, and I was amazed. Almost he was begging the governor of no less than New York, the international capital in amongst the United Nations is there, is begging the governors of other states of United States, please help us, give equipments and those things. We will also, when the wave of the corona is going to hit you, we will help you. The most powerful nation in terms of military, the highest GDP, I think it's almost $25 trillion. Now they, at the end of their wit, the arrogance of the science, the control over the destiny of the human health, it's all bullshit. It has been exposed naked, stripped naked. The arrogance of the modern science has been stripped naked. It's so shameless. The so-called modern Western medicine is standing stripped naked. It's shameless. In the name of arrogance, they had the business to discredit all the natural practices, health practices of all the countries. They destroyed the African self-healing systems, natural practices. They destroyed the Indian systems. Even today, they give a lot of bribe to all the practitioners, the medical. This is a great big racket of the practitioners of the English medicine. They would never tell you the truth. By simple methods, I'll come to that example. You see, this is not as deadly as it has been projected. Even the coronavirus, in terms of infection and all that, of course, it's a new virus. But if you are really interested even in protecting yourself, there are very simple solutions to this coronavirus. Let me tell you, that would be more interesting to you for the time being. I've already told you there is no reason to panic for you. Out of the 100, let me come to the Indian situation. I have done in-depth study and research for last almost a week. I have stopped my other spiritual research and all that. So I did some research and all that. These used to be my subjects. In Indian situation, I am telling you, not more than 1 or 2 out of the 100 people who might have got infected are going to fall prey to coronavirus. And rest 90% would have no problem at all. It will come as a natural, ordinary flu. And it will heal back also. 3, 4, 5% of the people would have serious ailments, serious problem because of their age. They might need hospitalization. But if we take precautionary measures, I'm not suggesting that you don't have the precaution that has been taken and sought to be taken, and this lockdown, I'm in 100% in support of the every measure that the Modi government is taking. I have full support. My good wishes, my prayers are with the entire health staff, the nurses, the doctors. I am praying everybody engaged in the essential services, whether the police, paramilitary forces, the health staff, or the media, or the suppliers, and those who are working in the chains of the groceries. My prayers are there. But we have to maintain strict social distancing, but there is no reason to get over panicked. The international pharmaceutical companies are celebrating this fact. They want you to be so spooked by this pandemic so that they will come out with some vaccine, magic bullet they would say, and they want to make fast bucks. In our country, in our Ayurveda, solution for all kind of viruses, almost more than 3 lakh of viruses are mentioned in our traditional systems also. The solution, the symptoms are different, the viruses might have been different, are different, but the solution for all the viruses is one and the same. Remind you, I am not a so-called doctor, but I know, I have worked on the issue of health and all that for 20, 40 years, 20 to 30 years. These simple things, the most powerful weapon that we do have, and Indians have a relatively very strong immune system because of our healthy, natural and vegetarian food practices. Non-vegetarianism is the greatest assault on the destiny and public health of the world. Let me tell you, we must declare a war against non-vegetarian food practices. It's not only this virus has come from that, but the entire resource base. 1 kilo of meat requires 5,000 liters of water. The entire world can feed the 5 times population of the current population of the globe if we pursue the vegetarian diets. We will remain free from vast majority of ailments and diseases, but that would become a problem for the transnational pharmaceutical companies who want to milk money, who want to exploit the medical emergency, health emergency. They create. I used to study those kind of things. I was dissociated, but now I feel so challenged, so angry about the helplessness and helplessness of the poor, deprived people who are not responsible in any way. They are being made to pay the price. Therefore, let me tell you in short, strengthen your immunity by taking ordinary things which are the part of the vegetarian diet in India. You must take regularly. We do take, but apart from that, you should take turmeric. Make it regular. Turmeric, black pepper, kali mirch, adrak, ginger, tulsi pata. These are the things, and don't listen to this bullshit Western medicine practice. They would say this is mumbo jumbo. Don't go. They have a vested interest. Your health is your concern first. It's not concern. The Prime Minister, the presidents, and the doctors' associations, they are doing their job. That's no problem. But you are the one who is most responsible for your health. So the first defense mechanism is social distancing. Support the government and the agencies which are trying to enforce the social distancing. Observe that. But enhance your immunity. Practice the yoga, the meditation, the pranayam, whatever you feel, some of the things, and take some of these things, regular intake. You should always take these things. Most of the time I take milk with the turmeric. That's the greatest immunity booster. It will not help any transnational person, so they will not promote on television channels through tablets. Because it is available to you as a food item. Ginger is a regular food item. Black pepper, these things. So, take precaution, but there is no need to get panicked. They want to essentially, in the heart of their hearts, the transnational corporations do the business of dead bodies. This time they are the vultures. They are the vultures flying in the sky, looking with their eyes on their profiteering. Let the entire mankind be frightened so that we will bring out some magic solutions or some tablets and we will become richer overnight. Your health is first and foremost your concern. Let us take, and I am telling you, this coronavirus, I am declaring you, I am with full confidence, it's not arrogance. Even if I personally, this SHIVA stands in the committee of the infected people, I might get infected at worst. But let me declare to you, nothing will happen to me, not because of some spiritual power. Let me bust the myth. No, I have lived a natural life. I have respected the natural laws of the systems. I have been practicing whatever things one ought to, minimum things, pranayam, yoga, positive mindset, and healthy food. Food only as much as you ought to. Let me tell you 2-3 important things. Till the corona pandemic is over, don't take sugar in any form. The direct sugar, white sugar, or the products like sweets or biscuits which contain this, destroys your immunity for 2 to 3 to 4 hours. It reduces your immunity capability, fighting capability by almost half. This is one thing. They will not tell you. No allopathic doctor, WHO is not going to tell you. That is why I am calling them criminals. They are the criminals. They are committing the crime against humanity. They have not forewarned you. Stop taking, at least for this time. I have never ever in my life, let me tell you, declare to you. Since I read the book of Ivan Illich, all of you who are concerned to understand the politics, 25 years ago, this best-selling book by Ivan Illich, that medical nemesis, I came to know the nakedness of the international pharma companies and the modern medical science. And WHO also, it's not my data. More than 80 to 90% of cesarean section operations across the world are performed not because they are needed, but for making money. This kind of crime is being committed against the humanity. They will tell you the truth. No, they won't tell you. So stop taking white sugar, at least during the period that this pandemic is not going to be contained completely. Then take regularly these kind of things. And when you are sitting at home, keep in mind that this is not time to take too much of calorie, because too much of calorie becomes very burdensome for your immunity. A lot of your the energy provides the energy, immunity to you to fight back the viruses. We have the natural built immunity, but we are despairing by eating that oily food, stuffy food, calorie intensive foods and all that, light foods and all that. And lemon must be taken regularly. Whenever you take these days a glass of water, put a few drops of fresh lemon. That is going to boost your immunity like nothing. This regular consumption, at least till this pandemic is over, of just 3, 4, 5 things will ensure you, I am telling you, lemon, ginger, adrak, black pepper, kali mirch, turmeric, haldi, in whatever way you consume. And remain positive. Observe, maintain all the... I'm not saying that don't... For the time being, it's the emergency situations. We have to obey, abide and support the government and the implementing agency. But be positive, be confident, at least utilize this time. Now I'm going to conclude by telling you, don't keep watching television. This is a part of the problem. Even if those people who have a very strong immune systems, who are not going to either get infected, or even if they get infected, there is no way they are going to fall prey to the coronavirus. But since morning to evening, if you keep watching television, coronavirus, this is going to take a larger casualty, though slowly, surreptitiously, invisibly. So, read newspapers for half an hour in 24 hours, or if at all you want to watch television, watch not more than half an hour or 1 hour to know the important things. But the rest of the time, sit there, do anything creative. Even if you are not interested in meditation, these are the best things to take a deep journey within. The meditation, the reflection on the inner truths, the bigger questions of the life. What is the destiny of mind? What is the destiny? Why has it become so? So, spiritual pursuit. Some of the lectures I did that was on that. Deeper, profound meditations to know your reality. In reality, it's not only I'm so confident about health, physical health also, but I know in the heart of the hearts, the real mind of the existence was never born, will never die. It is beyond all disease and death. I am rooted in that. Still, at the practical level, I also obey the natural systems, natural obligations on me while taking food, while consuming anything. I have never ever, I don't take tea, never ever. I used to ask big scientists, big philosophers, big intellectuals, some questions. I have never understood why people take this tea. I can understand if tea minus sugar is taken, the herbs might be useful, but along with the tea, every time you are taking in the morning, from morning to evening, at least even at the conservative level, 4 or 5 cups of tea, it damages your immune system so much. And try to avoid those unhealthy living practices, remain positive, and regularly, if you are staying indoors, the family is staying together. So, not watching the television, but sitting together, either praying. This is a Navratra period, either prayer or meditation or pranayam, whatever positive, creative things which will calm down our sense of fear. And a panicky, fearful mind is the biggest enemy of strong immunity. I am telling you, I have told you in my first life I had done. It is there on my YouTube channel. Don't get panicked. Don't get spooked. You are much stronger than any virus. Be responsible. Take the precautionary measures. But don't cease to explore the inner depths of yourself. The creativity, the infinity within you. The immortality within you. Because you are Shiva. You are death of the death, because you are that supreme reality at the end of it. All sorrow and tragedy and fear of Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita is not a story between the two human beings or the Lord and the devotee. No. The Lord Krishna is present ever within you, and Arjuna is also present within you, and the Mahabharata and the situation of the warfare is every moment available or presented or predicament is there for you. This is the Mahabharata. Now, what to do, what not to do? Arjuna didn't know the truth of himself or the truth of the existence. He was frightened. He laid down the weapon. He said he refused to fight. Now, the entire knowledge of Bhagavad Gita that was given on the battlefield, the most remarkable and amazing thing about the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is that it was not given, as in the case of the teachings of the Upanishads, in the caves or on the banks of the Ganges or the Himalayan caves by the sages to the disciples. No, it's the battlefield, and there this knowledge is being given because the one who is going to fight, who has been wronged, is refusing to. He has become a coward. He has begun to shiver. He has lost his sense of purpose and duty. Therefore, the entire knowledge that has been imparted on the battlefield in the Bhagavad Gita, that is the Upanishad. The Bhagavad Gita is nothing, as Jagadguru Adi Shankara said, it's nothing but the quintessence of all the Upanishads of the Vedanta. And there, what is there in Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita is the one thing that you must remember, that you are not the mortal body, but the immortal self, which was never born, which will never die. And you are the Atman, the Paramatman. Lord Krishna says, Ishwarah sarvabhutanam hrideshe arjuna tishthati. In the hearts of every living being, the Ishvara is present, the God is present, the Brahman is present. What is heart? In Vedanta philosophy, heart doesn't mean this biological heart. Heart means the intellect, the consciousness, the pure and the impure, the finite and infinite. The pure consciousness is the Brahman, the Paramatman, but the same when imposes upadhi, limitations upon it, the upadhi adjuncts of the body mind, then it becomes the buddhi, man, chit, ahankar, that is in Vedanta called antahkarana. That has made you feel and believe that you are mortal. You are the body. You are always frightened. What will happen if corona infects me? This is your illusion, your dream, your nightmare. Go deep within and realize the ever-present Lord, the Lord of the Lord, the God of the gods, the governor of the governors, the ruler of the rulers. You are. Right now, right here, the only problem is you are not aware about that. The meditation, Nidhi Dhyasana, is the practice for that. Do that. This is opportunity. Use this big tragedy, the big problem, the big calamity, the pandemic of corona that has brought upon you, as convert this adversity into an opportunity, spiritual opportunity, divine providence. Take a journey within. The journey within is infinite. A journey of immortality, journey beyond all death, disease, journey which will lead into infinite and absolute bliss. You are the embodiment of love, bliss and beauty. You are a fulsome and wholesome reality. So I'll conclude by praying once again. I'll chant some of the mantras for the well-being of all, except none, well-being of all. Om Sarve Nah Sukhino Bhavantu Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. This mantra chant with me, along with me, the divine energy and positivity that will be unleashed. Every word of yours contains is a carrier of that divine energy, the atoms of the divine energy. Let's emit in infinitum. A single person who really is a self-realized master, and if he meditates, it impacts the entire humanity. It uplifts the entire humanity, the health of the entire humanity, the well-being of the entire humanity. Do that. This mantra, let all be happy, let all be healthy, let all look good and see good. Let there be peace everywhere, let there be peace everywhere. Let's chant this mantra. Om Sarve Nah Sukhino Bhavantu Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ सर्वे नः सुखिनो भवन्तु, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ कर्ताहं भोक्ताहम् अविकारोऽहमक्रियः, शुद्धबोधस्वरूपोऽहम् केवलोऽहं सदाशिवः। I am only Shiva, the eternal Shiva, the absolute Shiva. I am neither the doer nor the enjoyer of anything. I am the absolute Shiva, the source, substance and substratum of all, without exception. I am the source, center and seat of everything. I am the death of the death and birth of the birth. I am pure consciousness, the Pragya, Pragyanam Brahma. This Navratra, the worship of that Devi, Jagadamba, none other than that Pragya. That Jagadamba is Pragya Swarupa. The worship of the Jagadamba means the worship of the supreme reality which is permeating and pervading every single cell within your body and every single atom in the universe. That is Jagadamba. What is the source? What is the What is the origin of the entire phenomenal universe? The pure intelligence, Pragya, Pragyanam Brahma, pure consciousness is the Brahman. That is Jagadamba. That is the worship discovered. Go deep within that Shiva and that Shakti that you are. Narayaноham Narakantakoham Purantakoham Purushohamishah Akhandabodhoham Shesha Sakshi Nireshwaroham Niraham Chanirmamaha Nireshwaroham Niraham Chanirmamaha. The Supreme Lord and God is not there. The Lord, the Brahman, the Paramatman is ever present here within me. I at the core of my existence am Brahman, Narayana, the Vishnu, the Shiva. All are my name. I am birthless, deathless, source, substance and substratum of the entire phenomenal universe. Within me, these are all imagined. The entire universe, the death and birth, they are all appearances within me. They come and go. I remain absolute reality, unchanging reality I am. Because Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.